Hello and welcome to Adventures in VFK. This is Fairy Fanatic, and I am in the Space Store. It's the Galaxy Trading Post with Miss Celeria, and I wanted to show you some other places to get crafting supplies. I'm going to just try to go through every place that I know of. You may find out some other places, but I've kind of asked around, and I think I've got them all nailed down. So let's go ahead and get started with where you can get crafting supplies in VFK. And that includes everything, all of the ingredients, all the bottles, and everything. So I'm in the Space Store because there is one place that you can go here, and it's called Space B4. Now you access it over in this one way out place over here, this corridor. And when you go, it's going to tell you that in order to enter the space station, you must first have completed 5 successful space merchant missions. Now, one of the episodes I did, I talked about doing space missions and how to start them. You need to get a space bottle from the Space Pirates game, or trade for one. And that will enable you to bring it over to where Miss Celeria is, and she's got the scanning thing out over there on the desk where she is, and you put the bottle over there and you get a space mission started. Now you can only do one space mission at a time, so you have to stay on top of it because it does take a while for the space mission to go through. It'll be like days, but it's not too bad. You just have to stay and just keep checking the space mission to see what your progress is. So that's, once you've done that, you'll be able to go into B4, and it will enable you to collect crafting items there as well. It's just part of the whole thing. Now, one of the things that you have to do, you may notice that my screen is green, the surrounding wrapper is green, and I don't usually play with it green, I usually play with it black. But when you want to go into one of these 3D areas, especially like B4, there's another one called Hidden Passages, you need to have your screen set to this green wrapper. This is called the classic VFK wrapper. And to get to it, you go under the menu button, you select options, and then you select this other options tab. And you can see down here it says interface type, and you want to use the classic interface. That's what I'm in right now. And just select the use classic interface, and then you select save options, and it will convert your screen to the classic interface. And this will enable you to be able to play in the 3D environment of B4. So log in to see changes. There you go. So you have to log back in again, but you'll actually get your green wrapper, and then you can enter. But this is, like I say, for this one you have to have completed 5 space missions in order to go on to the next level or to the next step. And that will enable you to get crafting items. So the next one, we're going to go over to the Hidden Passages. And this also requires that you have the classic wrapper around your game, around your game screen. And this is where you find Hidden Passages. It's back here. And it says to enter the castle dungeons, you must first have completed your quest for Frost Wizard enchantment and be wearing your Frost Wizard robes. Now, that's an epic quest. And the first thing you have to do is you have to get your Red Wizard robes. And that's also an epic enchantment. So you want to go ahead and start that and do that first. And then you do the second one. And these are under the quest buttons, the quest button over here. And you go to Epic Quests, and it talks about your wizard apprenticeship. That's your first one. And then the second one will be for your, let me see here. I look for it. I don't see it. Space enchantment, that's not it. Well, it's for your Frost Wizard. I'm not seeing it here. Maybe once you complete the first one, it'll show up. So, but I don't know. I do know that you have to do that. You have to get the Red Wizard first, and that's just really fun. It's supposed to be just quite an exciting quest, and you then after that you can shoot flames at people, throw flames at people, and do really neat things. And it changes you into a red wizard. So that's once you go ahead though, and once you get the red wizard, you have to get the frost wizard, and then you can go into the hidden passages and get a number of crafting supplies through in there. That gives you different options. That's one of your next places that you can get the supplies. Now the next place we're going to go to is Merlin's. It's outside of Merlin's, and it's called Merlin's Dungeon. And you need the wizard enchantment also for that, in order to go to that. And it's down here in this lower left-hand way out point that's here. So you just go down here, and it'll tell you this here. This is something that you can also get when you go through the dungeon. It says if you've obtained the ultimate toxic rain enchantment for trick-or-treating, you can use it to defend yourself from the inhabitants of the dungeon. Now, you really kind of need something like this. There's also another enchantment. I think it's another rain enchantment that you can get, and you can just trade for like some of these enchantments, but you really kind of need, you see, this is also the specter that you can get, or the April showers. You definitely need one of these to go into the dungeon, or and it's kind of gives you defense. Okay, if you discover treasure, actually the specter, I think of the specter is gold stamps, that you can just buy it in gold stamps. I don't remember about the April showers. I think you probably have to trade for that. But it's really important when you go down there, as it gives you, it's like a shield where it enables you to get healed, so before things completely annihilate you. So that's what this is the way over to the dungeon here, and you have to go to there's a gatekeeper over here that's really cool. This is kind of spooky. Now, this is something he's not going to let you go in unless you have to have your robes on. It'll tell you that, and it tells you again that you need to go through and you must activate your wizard enchantment in order to enter the wizard dungeons. So there's a lot of things in there that you can get. Once you get your wizard enchantment, just go on in there, wander around, kill things. Just kind of, and you can break things open, and you get all kinds of neat things from that. All right, so the next thing we're going to go look at is over here in the Wildwoods area, and I've talked about this some. It's one of the other rooms that you can go to. It has a lot of things, this Wildwoods area, the outside part of. It's the pony trail, but you have to go into the Wildwoods room first, and then it gives you the option of going into the pony trail. You just follow the signs, and I've gone ahead and shown that to people, to you guys, for some of the episodes. But that's one of the main places you can get things like the sheepies. You can shear sheepies there. You can get the stones there. You can get the wood there. You can usually find some bombwool plants there. It's just a great place to go and collect up items. Now, also for an elemental bottle, the Legends of the Haunting of Sleepy Hollows here. This is a really awesome game. It is so cool. It's really fun to play, and you can get things. As you can see, there's some more dragon things you can get here, but you just go in and you play it, and part of the award, and it's done randomly, are some elemental bottles that you can pick up here. So that's another source of getting crafting supplies. I love this game. I love the zombie band over here, the ghost band. And you just go ahead and join a team and go in and play. Now, as you can see here, there's these burning piles of things. There's also a couple of bushes that are red. These are dragon plants. You can go around and light them on fire. Just every place in the kingdom. If you just ride your dragon around, any place you see some of these plants, just light them on fire, and they randomly will give you different crafting supplies. So that's another way of getting the crafting supplies out of for your projects. Okay, so the next thing is in Australia. Now, if you go to the zoo, they do have some sheepies there that you can go shear. Now, you do have to get in. I have a zoo pass, but they'll probably ask me again to get a zoo pass. But it's not very expensive, and it's definitely, you can go over and collect your credits up and get your money back, get your credits back. But there's places that you can get sheepies in here and shear them. I love the zoo. Now, they've done some updates to the zoo. In fact, one of the updates they're doing is tomorrow. They're going to be, I'm assuming that they're going to do another one, but what they have right now, the last 2 Saturdays, they've been doing updates to the zoo. One was in the polar bear area, and one was in the penguin area, and it really makes the areas so much more fun. Okay, so we're looking for sheepies. Let's see. I know they're in here somewhere. There's a sheepy, but it's shorn. So when you'll kind of see them, they're just wandering around in here. There's another one there, and it's also shorn. There's another one. Poor little guys. So somebody's been here before me and gotten them all shorn. So you can see that this is something that's well used, and people do take advantage of the fact that the sheepies are here. Yeah, they're all shorn. Oh my goodness. Oh, here's some over here. They're not shorn. Oh, this is great. Okay, so you can look around and you can find some. Okay, so the next place we're going to go is over to the garden. Now, one of the things with the gardening, and I haven't really covered gardening yet, that's a really big thing, and lots of people do it. It's a great way to get credits. And another thing that you can get is you can also get balm wool plants, seeds. They just come randomly when you harvest some of your plants, and it's not something you can necessarily predict, but when you get seeds, you can go ahead and plant them, and then you can harvest your own balm wool plants, which is great. Also, it's just great. It's a great way to get credits, but that's another way that you can get some supplies. And if you can always trade for seeds, people have them. They'll trade balm wool seeds to you. And you can do it that way as well, that you need to plant. But it's part of the gardening, the whole gardening project, and you need to go ahead and plant them and grow them, and then you can harvest them. And that's the way it is with all of these plants in here that are producing plants that you can harvest. And you get credits off of them when you sell them. So then there's one more place also. You can go over to, first of all, you can trade. If you put in your signature what you're looking for and what you need, people will actually ask to trade you for things. It just depends on what you're willing to pay. Some people ask more than others, but a lot of people will just go ahead and come up and say, hey, I've got that. Do you want to trade? And it's a very simple way of getting things that you don't have. That's how I got my elemental bottles the other day, was I just traded for them. And I also traded for my ink because I'm not a mermaid yet. So that you can, even though you may not be able to go to some of these different areas or get these different things, you can always trade for them. Most of the things. Now, some member items, of course, are not tradable, but most of the things you can use in crafting, you can trade for. There's also what is called the Miss Clue message boards. It's part of the VFK family of sites here. It's actually part of VFK, but it's also its own distinct message board. And they have a trading area there that you can go over and say that you are looking for a particular item, or even just say I'm looking for crafting items and see what people have. And that's another way to do it. Now, I think I've covered everything that I know of that are the alternate ways of getting items and the other places you can get supplies for crafting in VFK. So if you think of any, or if you find out of any other ones that I might have missed, be sure to let me know. You can just send me a comment and I'll add them in. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I hope this has been helpful to you, and I will see you next time. Bye.